about the problem statement. The problem statement is divided into two sections. The first problem statement is the global problem statement. The first problem statement is the global problem statement. And the second problem statement is the area that you are doing your research. Are you doing your research in let's say, in Ghana? Let's say the health sector. Are you doing your research area? We people who use this secondary data mostly use it on country base, but some people can use it on firm base too. So are you doing your research in wherever you are doing your research? There are some problems that you have seen. So for you to carry up a research problem or research, you have to identify a problem. There should be a problem statement or a problem that you have seen. You've seen that the health sector in Ghana, although we have introduced this what is it, the free healthcare system in Ghana, but still, when you go to big hospitals like Kwalebu, like Comfort Teaching Hospital, like Sunyai Municipal Hospital, doctors are still using the cash and carry. That is a problem. So you want to do a research into it and see why this problem is occurring within our hospitals. You have to get answers for why it is occurring so that you can propose policies for it. That is a problem, a specific problem. You see that Ghana, we are borrowing too much. Every 6 years or every 4 years, every economy keeps on going to IMF for IMF bailouts. Our debt structure, our debt is increasing day in, day out. That is a problem that you've seen. You have to get a problem before you can
start. How they say it is there? You can buy.
Hello, somebody's talking.
And I don't want to restart my computer.
Mr. Roland, you're talking to us, please. Okay.
From the computer.
Please, can everybody mute, please?
Please, can we unmute our mics?
I don't think
please, a quick one. Please, those who are finding difficult joining, I think we've been able to generate a Tencent ID. Please repeat with you, just manage with a Tencent ID. And tomorrow, we will get a bigger or maybe a Zoom account with a maximum of more than 300 or more to use in tomorrow's activity. So please, we are pleading with you. All should try the Tencent ID for now. Thank you. Prof, please. And please, let's all mute our mics so that Prof can flow. Thank you. Prof, please, you can take over. Thank you.
Okay. So as I said, for introduction, there are general problems. You see that now, for example, I'm using the problems in Ghana for us to get ideas of what we are saying. You see now, when you go to Ghana, they are saying that they are coming to take environmental tax. What they call it electricity tax. It is something which has been introduced in US and in the big economies. Even when you go to Europe, most of the farmers are doing demonstration of. I saw, because I write in these areas, you can see people from France, from Ireland, from Netherlands, from German farmers who are demonstrating against this policy or this thing because it is increasing the price of fuel. They are putting so much tax on the price of fuel, and it is affecting the farmers who are daily using the diesel and the petrol in their farm activities. So for you to start or for you to write a paper, you should generate a problem. What is the problem that you want to research into? Is it do you want to research why the husbands die earlier than their wives? Do you want to do research into it? Do you want to do research into why ladies are always taking their husband to Antenna and Mamefe? you want to do research into that area, there should be a preference. There should be something which is clicking, which is phenomenal that you want to do research into. So the first one is, the first paragraph is you have to get the global perception or the global problem of why that incident or that thing is occurring. Then the next one or two paragraphs will be for the particular area. Are you doing for Ghana? Let's say your scale or your sample area. Are you doing for Ghana? Are you doing for a particular, let's say Kumasi? Are you doing for Accra? In Accra, what part are you doing it for? Are you doing it for only hospitals? Are you doing it for only teachers? Are you doing it for only drivers? There should be something which is clicking. That is one thing. Then after that thing, the most important area that I want us to talk about is the contribution of the study. The contribution of the study. That is the most important area, I say, for most papers are getting rejected. Most of my papers are getting rejected too, my brothers. Although I've published about 90, 93, 94 papers as of now. But I can tell you, most of my papers are getting rejected. So if you write a paper and you submit it and it gets rejection, don't think you are the only person whose paper is getting rejection. All of us, our papers are getting rejection day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. So please don't feel shy when your paper is getting rejected. Send it to a different journal, and those journals also you will send it until it gets published. That or get somebody who has a big name to add, or somebody who can contribute into it and who can help you get it published. After we will talk about all these things. There's the contribution, or some people call it significance of the study. Some people call it contribution of the study. What are you contributing to the literature? Are you contributing new idea? Are you contributing new technology, new methodology? Or are you contribution based on, is a contribution based on the data that you are using, or the area that you are doing research? Although people have done research for different areas, but the area that you want to do your research in, or the area that you want to do your research, nobody has done his research there. So the contribution also comes in about 4 areas. Is it a methodological contribution? Methodology. So let's say, for example, I'm an econometrist. Do you understand? I do more of econometrist, more of the data analysis area. So let's take, for example, I've seen a paper. For that paper, after reading, I saw the paper is very good, and I want to write. But I've seen that after reading a lot of papers on the same topic, they are all using a specific methodology. But there's a methodology which is new, which nobody has introduced or nobody has used for that particular research. I can write that, okay, my contribution to this study is that I am using a different methodology, which is different from, then you mentioned the papers which use previous methodologies. Let's take, for example, those who are in economics who understand me. Maybe you are using ALDL, or you are using fixed effect, or people use fixed effect and random effect in their paper, or GMM in their paper. But you saw that nobody has used, let's say, CS cross-sectional augmented decafula, CSALDL. Nobody has used that methodology. Or there are new methodologies like quantile ALDL, or quantile on quantile, or wavelength, which nobody has introduced that kind of methodology to see if it will still affirm the findings within the literature, or it will decrease, or it will not affirm the findings within the literature. So you can base on your methodology, to contribute to the literature. Second one, you can base on theoretical framework, the theory. Based on theory. What kind of theory are you using? People are using different theory. But you think that, okay, if I should use this kind of theory, I can get the same outcome. You can also use a theoretical framework to get something from the paper. Let me say it that way. Or you can use a date, the years which people started. After you reading, you saw that most people data ended in, let's say, 2022, or let's say 2018 or 2017. Most of the people who did research on the same topic, their data ended in 2015, 2016. By then, the organizations who produce data for us, who give us data, have not updated their data, so that the current data was not in place. But as soon as the current data comes in place, and the data, let's say the data ends now in 2021, you can say that, okay, based from the previous literature, we saw that the data or the contribution data ended in 2015. But currently, I'm using the data which ends in 2022, which shows that based on the 5-year differences that you are getting from data, you will get a different results, and based on the different results that you get from the analysis, you give a different policy framework for the policymakers to base on the work to take decisions. So these are the important areas that I want to talk on when I say the contribution of the study. It is much important because that is the area that most people really base on to reject most of our papers, all the papers that we are writing. The main area which they base on to reject our paper is the contribution. So in this one, this paper says the present analysis contributes to the literature in several ways. First, the authors employ a novel cross-sectional dependency test to examine any likely split over economic effect in G7 economies. So this is a methodological contribution. Because from the analysis, we saw that most people did not use the cross-sectional dependency test to examine. So as we want to bring a new or a novel thing into the literature, we introduce that we are doing a cross-sectional dependency test. Furthermore, the current study revisited the analysis of EFC, ecological footprint impact, by considering clean energy, economic globalization, rare growth, and natural resources rent for E7 as potential factors, whilst using a data span from 1990 to 2029. So we also introduced new or different variables into the old variables which were used, because ecological footprint is an old variable. But we introduce a new variable. So let's say, for example, if you are writing in finance, and you see that people are doing something and they are using some variables, you can introduce one or two. You can add one or two variables which people have not added to their literature to add to your study with the same thing that they are doing. You can add one or two variables to it, analyze it, and you will get a different results. So people were using ecological footprint already, but we considered clean energy, economic globalization. We introduced new variable into the system, which makes it different from what others have published already. That is one thing that I just want us to see. Then the analysis also examine the fundamental factors that influence achievement of sustainable development goals from environmental perspective by emphasizing the decrease in the steps. This is not that much important. This explains everything. So the main idea of everything was based on data. The main contribution of this paper was based on data, because the old data, most data were based on were ending in 2015, 2014, 2013. So when we got data which was ending in 2019, we said hallelujah. Then we can write something for them which shows that our data has been extended. So based on the extension of data, we could use that as a basis. Then we also saw that, okay, we are also based on cross-sectional dependency. What is the cross-sectional dependency? Those in economics, because you are not economic, that's why I don't want to explain much. I don't want to go into much econometric terms. Cross-sectional dependency is a panel data where you're not using a single country, but you're using more than 2 countries or 2 firms to do analysis. For this one, if the econometrics people brings me back for DS for them alone, I could explain more into these areas. So, as I've explained, the contribution of the study is much important. For when your paper goes to, I'm also an editor for one SSCI paper, Environment, Sustainable and Development. And there's one paper I'm forgetting, but let's go on. Those about 3 papers I'm editors there. When your paper comes to us, the first thing that they have told us to read your abstracts and read your contribution. Does your contribution make sense? So when your papers are being rejected, they always say that the paper is not novel. The reason why they tell us the papers are not novel is that your contributions have been given by different papers. So find a way to think around the box to bring out a different contribution. That is what I'm trying to say. So the point is, the only way is to read more on the topic that you want to do research on. Don't just based on somebody's work that you see online, just one paper online. Then based on just one paper online, then you said, okay, you tell yourself, I can write, let me also write. You need to read about 20, 30 papers on the same topic. Construct a new thing. What people are not doing. Bring that thing in your paper and your paper will sell. That is all about the introduction. Then you summarize the whole thing. This one I think everybody can do. You summarize the whole introduction into sessions. This paper talks about the introduction, which is the first session. Second session is literature review. The third session is data analysis and methodology. The fourth session handles the discussion, and the fifth session handles the conclusion and policy implication of policy recommendation or policy framework. For this area, I think any of us can do. So the main areas that I've talked about the hypothesis also much important. I think tomorrow the person who will be talking about literature review will talk much about the hypothesis development, because it's based on the literature review that we use in developing hypothesis, and it's based on the hypothesis that we use in writing the literature review. So the person who will talk about, I know Dr. Michael will talk about the literature review. So the next aspect is literature review. And for literature review, you will handle it tomorrow. So let me move on. Let me move on to data and methodology. Data and that's the third session.